You clicked on this video to figure out how to create a viral YouTube channel in 2020? Okay, perfect, you're in the right spot. Well, you're looking at a girl, me, I'm that girl, who just recently in the beginning of 2020, pre-pandemic, pre-quarantine days, was balling out of control and making almost 10K per month just with Google AdSense. Like, I was buying the most top-notch Airbnbs and getting rounds of dollar shots for everybody at the club. Yeah, that was me. And so you may be thinking like, wow, Marissa, if you were making 6 figures in the beginning of 2020, you must be a millionaire by now, right? Well, as a matter of fact, I sure am not. And this is actually what my numbers look like right now. And so you may be thinking like, well, what on God's green earth happened to you? Well, long story short, my channel was hacked. Not a lie, you can check out this video to see the full entire story. My channel was hacked and deleted. Now it's back. And so you may be thinking to yourself, have you started from scratch or not? The answer is yes, I've started from scratch 3 times. When I first started this channel, and the second time was when this channel was hacked and deleted. I started a brand new channel from scratch. And now the third time is getting this channel back up to where it was, to the 6-figure mark, because as you just saw, my numbers right now are negative. My channel disappeared from the internet for 3 to 4 weeks, and so I figured, let me go ahead and share exactly what I'm gonna do to get my video to go back up to the 6-figure mark, and the exact steps I'm taking to make this YouTube channel go viral. So let's head on over and talk about it. So let's go ahead and get started with my very first tip to creating a YouTube channel in 2020 that can go viral, and that is to protect your channel. You don't want to make the same mistake I did, what I just mentioned in the first part of this video, and that is to get your YouTube channel hacked. Being a YouTuber nowadays is a profession. Maybe 5 years ago it wasn't looked at as being a profession, but it definitely is. I mean, YouTubers make very big income streams. Yes, as I had mentioned before, I was making just under $10,000 from Google AdSense alone, and that doesn't include all of my other YouTube income streams like my products, my affiliate offers, my brand and sponsorship deals. But you want to protect your channel, and in this video I actually go over step by step of how you can protect your channel and what you need to do to really be safe online and protect yourself from cybercrime. But really, getting hacked is something you don't want to go through. It is very traumatic and detrimental, and you could imagine just what it was like to wake up and have all of your subscribers gone like instantly when you put in years of work, money, your heart and your soul and all this invested time. So it's really important to protect your channel. And a couple things you can start to do right away once you set up your Gmail and your channel on YouTube is make sure you go to your Google account and you turn on 2-factor authentication. You also set up a recovery email, and never ever share your Google account email that is connected to your channel with anyone. No one, not even when you outsource tasks or hire someone on your team. This is something that should never ever be shared. And also, when you create the about section, that email that is shown to the public should definitely be different than the Gmail that is associated with your Google account. So check out that video after this video to really implement the security measures in your online business and on your YouTube channel today. Step number 2 to creating a very successful channel in 2020 is to choose your type of value. Now, what do I mean by this? This means a couple of things actually. So this is exploring what type of niche your channel is going to be about. And then once you select the type of niche your channel is going to be about, you then have to figure out, okay, well, what type of content am I going to make? What kind of value am I going to provide to the peoples, right? So are you going to create videos that are funny, are entertaining? Are you going to create videos the way I create videos, like tutorials or step-by-steps for your audience, which do extremely well with the YouTube algorithm when you're first growing your channel? So really think about and brainstorm what type of value you're going to provide to your audience, and think about what type of questions you'll be answering for them and what type of problems they are trying to solve. So there's such a wide variety of types of channels, like gaming channels to reaction video channels to channels like mine that are heavily educational based. So you really got to think about what type of personality you have and what type of skill sets you have. Like, I wish I was funny. I wish I was a quirky comedian that could make people laugh on my videos, but I just can't. Like, I'm, really good at teaching and giving value. So that's the lane that I stay in when I'm making my videos. I stick to what I'm good at. So the third thing you want to think about when starting your brand new channel is your channel name. So a lot of people get really hung up on, should it be my personal name or should it be a name that is more of a business name? And this is a super great question. And a lot of times people that have online businesses who are growing a personal brand tend to lean towards having their name as the name of their channel. So in my case, I use Marissa Romero because I'm growing my personal brand. It represents my business. And honestly, I want people to know who I am. I want people to know my first name. And there's been a couple creators that are in the same type of business that I am, like online business and creating content for people who want to learn about online business. And they've recently switched from having a brand/business name to going back to having their personal name for that reason. They literally want people to know who they are. And so they rebranded their channels, their website, and switched it to, their first and last name.com. That's another tip I have is if you haven't bought your domain name already, go buy that right away. On GoDaddy, you don't want somebody to have your name, and for you to buy it from them, it'll cost like $2,000. That happened with my domain. Like somebody was selling it for $2,000 for the first 2 years I was in business. Then all of a sudden they let it go and I was like, yes, and I was able to buy my domain name for $11.99 on GoDaddy. Also, something to consider when you're thinking about your channel name is to think about long-term, what your goal is with the channel. I plan to have my channel for the rest of my life and to create content as long as I can. And so therefore, I never plan on selling my channel. Now, if I was growing a channel specifically on, maybe gadgets or technology or something where I know that I could sell it in the future and maybe not brand myself so heavily, then I would consider leaning towards a business name as opposed to your personal name, because in the future it's a lot harder to sell your channel when it's branded with your name, because all the videos will have your name and it just won't make as much sense as opposed to having a name like Millennial Gadgets or I don't know, whatever you want to name it. So definitely consider what your long-term goals are when you're creating your channel name. The fourth thing that is extremely important to starting out your new YouTube channel is the branding. Now let me explain what this means. So there's a couple of elements on your channel that are crucial to have from day one when you have zero. And that is the channel icon, the YouTube banner, and your thumbnails. These are so important. Like I can't express enough how important these things are. So let's start with the channel icon. That is the picture that represents your channel. My channel icon is a picture of me and the background is red and you can see my face clearly. What I highly recommend is to have a clear picture of your logo or of you if the channel is a personal branded channel, and make sure it's clear and people know what the image is, because this is going to reflect when you respond to comments. When somebody clicks on your channel, they'll be clicking on your channel icon, and so it's really important for it to be clear on who the channel belongs to. The other thing is the banner. That's that big image, the long image at the top of your channel. That space is extremely crucial to use because that's going to tell your visitor or your viewer within the first few seconds of them landing on your channel what your channel's about. And so a couple of things that I really recommend that you have in that banner is an image, so an image of you or an image of something that represents your brand, 3 pillars of what your channel is about, or maybe a tagline of what your channel is about, and also try to include the frequency of how many times you're going to be posting. So maybe you're posting every Sunday and Thursday. Put that in the banner. Another thing you could include in the banner is a call to action. So that way on the right hand side, you can have a call to action for people to subscribe to your channel, opt into your lead magnet, or whatever else you want them to do. And the last thing I mentioned about thumbnails. So the thumbnail is the image that is first seen on your video before people even click. It is the make or break, literally, of people clicking on your video. Thumbnails are super important because it's the image that represents the video. So if you're looking on mobile and you see a bunch of thumbnails on different videos you want to watch, you're going to click on the thumbnail that catches your attention, right? And so that's why it's super important to make sure your thumbnails are good. What's a good thumbnail? Make sure you have a close-up image of yourself, the object. Maybe if you're a food channel, you'll have a close-up image of a hamburger, something super enticing, and also a few words, like between 3 to 4 words of what your video is about. Also, number 5, I just thought about this, I'm gonna add this in there. You have to pay attention to your YouTube studio. Now, don't freak out when I say the word studio. All I mean by studio is what you see in the background of my video. That is basically your YouTube studio, right? And so you're gonna wanna think about this. What part of your house, or maybe it's outside, and maybe you have a garden outside or something where you're gonna film, right? Some tips for the studio is you don't want anything crazy in the background. Notice in the background I don't have any trash, I don't have any dishes in the background that have old crusty food on it, or I don't have anything controversial like, you know, sports teams. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of diehard fans of a bunch of sports. Things that are controversial can be the make or break of somebody becoming a viewer, then a subscriber, then from a subscriber to a lead, and then from a lead to a buyer. If you can exclude it from your background, just do it. Like, just exclude the controversial stuff. Keep your background simple and not too distracting, so that way in the future, if you want to add different cool effects like titles or pop-ups or whatever, there's not a bunch of distraction in your background, so it'll be a lot simpler to do. So the 6th tip I have for you guys is to choose your first 20 video titles. And the reason why I say 20 is so that when you're first starting out as a content creator, you don't have to think about, oh, what video am I going to do next? It's already planned out, and all you have to do is script the video, right? And so when I tell my students and my clients to write down their first 20 video titles, I tell them also to do it with a tool called TubeBuddy. Now, TubeBuddy is very, very important to making SEO, or search engine optimization, for YouTube very, very simple. The way you're going to get your videos in front of people fast and eventually to make them go viral is to use search engine optimization and to be smart about what titles you are choosing for your videos. For example, if you have a travel channel and you want to make a video about Rome, you're not going to title that video My Family Vacation to Rome, because no one is going to search My Family Vacation to Rome. I promise you. They're going to search something instead, like the top 20 things to do in Rome as a family or something like that. They're not going to search like my brother's wedding. So TubeBuddy is an extremely helpful tool that will help you find titles that are very rich in good keywords and that will help put your channel on the map. The 7th thing you need to make sure you do before starting your viral YouTube channel is to create a branded account. So think of a branded account for your YouTube channel as like a Facebook fan page. So it is like the official business type of channel for your YouTube channel. And the reason why this is so important, it goes back to the protection piece I was talking about for tip number 1, because as your YouTube channel grows, trust me, you're going to need a team to help you, with uploading thumbnails, with editing videos and uploading, with responding to comments, just all types of stuff. And so what a branded channel allows you to do is to add team members to your channel. And these team members do not know your login credentials to your channel. They basically have their own logins where they can go and do, whatever job they're assigned to do on the channel. And it makes the YouTube workflows for your team that much more simpler. And also your channel is protected that much more. So the 8th tip I have for you guys when starting a viral YouTube channel in 2020 is to script your videos. Now, a lot of people say to me like, well, I have no idea what I'm gonna say when I get in front of the camera. Well, of course you don't. Why? Because you haven't scripted your videos and talked about what you're going to say before you get on camera. Trust me, scripting makes life as a YouTuber so much easier, because you get in front of the camera and you're like, boom, I'm going to talk about this in the intro and I'm going to give, these 6 tips, and you just do it. And it flows so much easier. So what I recommend is to take, half hour and figure out what you're going to say. You don't have to script your videos word for word, but definitely write down some bullet points and some notes that are going to help you remember your most important tips. Because another thing scripting helps do is increase the watch time, because if your viewer has a really great experience with your video, then that is going to help increase the watch time, and that is going to help push your video out even more to get more views and subscribers and eventually more sales. The next tip I have for starting a successful YouTube channel is to get out of your own head. Now you may be thinking, what? Like, this isn't, what does this have to do with the channel? I'm sure that the majority of you that are watching this video right now are telling yourself still some limiting things that are either keeping you from getting started, keeping you from continuing. Maybe you've started your channel already and you stopped. And this is super important because you're probably telling yourself a lot of negative self-talk, like, oh, my videos suck. Oh, who's going to watch my channel? Oh, like, no one's even learning anything from me. And that is really, really bad. Like, that negative self-talk is really, really detrimental to you moving forward as a creator. And newsflash for you, your first 10 videos are gonna suck. Probably your first 50. Being a YouTuber is hard and it takes practice, and I can't emphasize enough that you're not entitled to being a bomb-ass YouTuber and being super good in front of the camera your first 50 videos. It's going to take time for you to develop yourself and develop, you know, your flow in front of the camera and to get comfortable hearing yourself. That was a huge thing for me. I hated hearing myself when I first was a YouTuber. I'm like, turn it off, turn it off. Like, I don't want to hear Marissa talk. It's really important to just get out of your own head and just enjoy the process of you becoming a really good creator. Remember that you are the expert. You are the expert, and that is why you are starting this YouTube channel, because you have something to teach and you are positioning yourself as the authority in your niche, and you are going to be the go-to person for people that are looking for whatever topic your channel is going to be about, and they're going to trust you and believe in you and depend on you. And that's what's the most important thing, is getting your value out there. So if you're enjoying this video about how to start a viral YouTube channel in 2020, I guarantee you're going to love this video, which talks more about the income piece of YouTube and 6 side hustles you can start with your YouTube channel. And that video is up next, starting right now. I love teaching about YouTube, and so this video is going to give you several ideas on how not only you could make